Welcome to the Jersey Oddcast, the show where local news meets lively conversation and South Jersey gets a little odder. This week, Joseph Berenato, Gabriel J. Donio, and me, Gina Rullo, dive into everything from bank closures and patient escapes to ribbon cuttings, Veterans Day celebrations, and a few familiar faces making headlines. We're talking about the TD Bank shutdown in ACUA, a wild story out of Ancora, and the latest updates from Egg Harbor City, where the new outdoor fitness court is open and the town's gearing up for a major climate resilience project. We also salute our local heroes ahead of Veterans Day, check in on Buena Vista Township's toy drive, and share how you can lend a hand during No Shave November and local food assistance events. And of course, we'll spotlight our sponsors, the businesses that keep South Jersey strong, and roll community calendar, the Odd Poll, the Oddcast Oddfact, and the Oddcast Forecast. So settle in because this week's mix of community, chaos, and commentary is one you don't want to miss. Let's dive in. Gabe, what's happening with TD Bank?
TD Bank announced, Gina, that they will close the following Philadelphia area locations on January 29th, 2026, which is coming right up. 399 Market Street in Philadelphia, 9996 Haldeman Avenue in Philadelphia, 200 Lancaster Avenue in Devon, 1064 2nd Street Pike in Richboro, that's all in Pennsylvania, as well as 131 East McDade Boulevard in Folsom, Pennsylvania. The one that's closest to us is at 385 Whitehorse Pike in Atco, obviously Waterford Township, New Jersey. So that was announced recently, and now that is going to come to pass on January 29th, 2026. So that'll leave that TD Bank spot open. I don't know. What do you guys think? This is another bank closure. We've seen quite a few of them in recent years.
I look at history, I see patterns, and I may have to start to put on my tinfoil hat. But when you have this many bank closures on the same day for what is really a rather popular bank, I find it a little alarming, especially when you consider TD Bank bought out Commerce Bank
Hmm?
years ago, and Commerce for a while was like the fastest growing bank in the United States. They seem to have something on every street corner, just about. And the one in Atco has been there for a very long time. So I find this a little concerning, not just for the customers in Atco who use TD Bank, but in general. Bank closures aren't usually harbingers of a good economy.
Yeah. Do we also think it's somewhat a function of, Gina, the way people bank now and the way people are not using brick and mortar structures as much as possible?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's definitely a component of it. I also think TD Bank has had some less than favorable news in recent years, maybe some conflicts, things like that, I would say. So that could be contributing it to it too. And I think there's other banks that are having rounds of closures. And it's a little scary. I think it's a harbinger of a difficult economy and the fact that we bank differently than we did 20 years ago and definitely than we did 40 years ago. We got to keep an eye on it because, again, the empty bank building is more concerning to me than losing the TD Bank. And I just don't
Mhm.
want to see another cannabis business or just have it sit empty for years. I think it needs to have a new purpose. And what is that going to be? I don't know, but we need to work on that.
Yeah, and I'll agree that it's a mix of both cultural change and economic change. And I agree that it would be nice if someone had a plan in place ahead of the place closing to have a new use for it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And I think they said in the article I read in like the Business Journal, this is like the normal course of action as we continue to evolve with customer needs, someone in the senior leadership. And I was like, is it?
That,
You're losing jobs, you're closing a business, that impacts everyone around it. It's just,
Sure.
is that the like the business equivalent of move along, nothing to see here? Because that's what that sounds like.
I mean, look at Hamilton, guys. The reality is, we had at one time almost, I think, 10 bank branches, and you could say we were overbanked,
yeah.
Oh
but
yeah,
still,
we had a bank for every pizzeria.
yeah, really, or nail shop or hair salon. But I will say that trend wasn't necessarily good for Hamilton to see so many bank closures over the last 20 years. You have to draw some kind of inference there.
Yeah, not for nothing. It's just occurred to me, and this is on topic, but entirely off topic. Americans are so opposed to using the metric system that instead of miles per hour, we're like, oh no, we've got 10 banks per pizza shop. That's how we
Right.
measure things.
I think what hurts us the most is not the loss of a TD bank, it's the loss of community banking, small banks, where you can go in, get a roll of change for your small business because you're still taking cash at your small business. That's what I think we're hurting by. We don't have that small independent banks as much as a nation anymore. And that to me is more concerning for our small businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's more expensive to be a small town bank than it is to be Bank of America in a lot of ways. Because there's more interaction between the clientele. And that is not something that they like. And we've heard this from different bankers over the years, Gabe, and we've
Yeah.
been in these meetings like, oh, it's very expensive. And I'm like, but that's what your community needs. If you're going to have a thriving independent business downtown, then you need to have banks that can support it so they can get their change, do their nightly deposits,
Yeah.
all of those little things.
Yeah. And I guess the concern is we're seeing these banks, larger banks, closing branches, and we're not seeing new community banks coming up through the ranks anymore.
No.
The select banks I'm thinking of back when, Capital Bank. It's not, we're not
Ocean
seeing
City
that.
Home Bag, Minatola. God
Oh,
bless
yeah.
Minatola. That was the best.
I used to love Ocean City Home Bank. Loved
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but but to that there is the Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union, which I think you've used, Joe. They're a smaller independent bank.
I've
It's
used
banking
them for 10
institution.
for 10 years now. Yeah, I love them.
So the only thing I don't like about them is they don't have a drive-through, and that's just because I'm lazy.
I can see that, but I had started using the one that was at the Hamilton Mall, so I got out of the habit of going through the drive-through. I go in, I talk with the people there, they know me, I know them, do my business, and then get out, and it's a nice routine. And if I have any questions, like they know me by face, I know exactly who I can go to. And I think that's important with banking, and that's something that's lost with mobile deposits. That's something that's lost with just going to the ATM. There's a layer of familiarity. And as non-existent as it may actually be, I feel like there's an extra layer of security by dealing with an individual that I can ask questions instead of putting it in a machine, maybe getting a receipt, hoping I get a receipt, wondering if my transaction goes through. With a person there, I have that certainty.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. Joe, what happened in Ancora last week? That was a little unusual and perfect timing for Halloween.
I'm wondering if maybe they heard about the upcoming bank closure and wanted to make a run on the bank to make sure that all the stuff was out. On Thursday, October 30th at approximately 6:30 p.m., the Winslow Township Police Department put out a statement that Elgin Taylor, a patient at Ancora Psychiatric Hospital, had escaped. According to reports, Taylor had been found not guilty by reason of insanity in 2011 for the stabbing death of a Merrill Lynch employee in 2008. Winslow PD said that he was to be considered extremely dangerous and that anyone who saw him should immediately call 911 and not approach him. Now, roughly an hour and a half later, Winslow PD announced that he had been located and taken into custody. Waterford Township Police Department later announced that Taylor was located on foot by a Waterford resident in the area of Dollar General and that Taylor was safely returned to Ancora without incident. So within an hour and a half, they located and took their man into custody, which is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, but how does this keep happening? I just don't. We've grown up around here and we've heard about Ancora for many years, and we've heard in recent months about how we want to put a jail there on the property. And it just seems like people during the years have escaped. And I don't understand how that can happen in this day and age of such technology and such surveillance and different things. That's really got to be top of mind and buttoned up over there at Ancora. They have to, if you're going to have that kind of facility for the criminally insane, they're going to need to beef up the security. No other way to say it.
If we're talking about criminally insane, if we look at literature, people escape from Arkham Asylum all the time.
Yeah, that's a comic book.
We're calling that literature?
We're calling that okay. How about modern mythology? We're calling it literature. But
I'm not worried about the scarecrow coming out of Arkham Asylum. I'm worried about Hamilton is adjacent community to this. Look, I hear where you're coming from, but
I mean,
I
but
don't know.
it does, unfortunately. You don't hear about too many jailbreaks from state actual prisons. You don't hear about too many escapees from Southwoods, Bayside, so forth, because their security is top tier. But there have been escapees from Atlanta County Jail.
Yeah. But do you
Um,
think that there should be less top tier security at a facility that holds criminally insane people?
no, I think there should be more. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, with the level, I'm not overly surprised. There seems to be, and this is based purely on memory and no statistics that I've looked up, but it seems every other year someone escapes from Ancora. They're eventually found, but
yeah,
every other year it seems like somebody escapes. And who knows what happens inside the hospital? This individual may have been transferred to a less secure wing because they were doing better as a patient. And or that we don't know. And I don't even know if HIPAA laws would allow us to know what goes on the inside of the hospital,
right.
find out why it was that he escaped.
I think like I said, it's been an ongoing problem that is in our backyard. So I do think it's something that needs to be addressed. I remember one year, a guy escaped and I believe made it to the Great Swamp Sandy Causeway, where
I
there
think
was
so.
work being done, and he stole a truck.
Yes. Oh my God, that story. I remember that. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
You
15
use
miles
that term
through woods
loosely.
from Ancora.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
a trek.
that's a trek. How the heck does that happen? And yeah, and Gina, I'm sure you use the term crazy loosely since we're talking about.
I didn't mean it like that, but yes.
Yeah, but that's some Richard Kimball stuff right there.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. And it's a new. This is the latest story, but it's not a new story out of Ancora.
No.
And it's just going to give more
Credence.
ammunition to the people who say don't build a jail here. It's not the right place for it.
Yeah, and unless, of course, the jail that is proposed is going to have just monumental security, because if they are using the security procedures that have traditionally been in place at that facility, then what are you even doing here?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Whether you're looking to move your home or your business, there's one realtor we recommend calling.
Yes, and that's Crowley and Carr Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell your home or commercial property in South Jersey, call Phil Carr, owner of Crowley and Carr Real Estate. Crowley and Carr is the best place in town to find the best place in town. Call them at 609 561 0505 or go to Facebook or Instagram.
Thank you. Joe, what's happening for Veterans Day, which is coming up on November 11th?
It is coming up on November 11th, and there are quite a few things in the area. Insofar as Hamilton is concerned, though details have not yet been released online as of this recording, if this year is like previous ones, the Tri-Vets of Hamilton, comprised of the American Legion Post 186, the Scaltrito Castone Disabled American Veterans Chapter 66, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars Pasalacqua Post 1026, will hold their annual Veterans Day celebration in the auditorium of Hamilton Middle School at 7 p.m. The event traditionally includes speakers, a guest of honor, and performances by the Hamilton Middle School Band, and is generally a very nice, very respectful celebration. In Egg Harbor City, the Rudolph Elmer American Legion Post 158 and the Richard McCanney VFW Post 5341 join the city of Egg Harbor with their 2025 Veterans Day program, which will be held at 5 p.m. outside of the American Legion Hall at 527 Philadelphia Avenue. There will be performances by the Cedar Creek High School Marching Band, and attendees are encouraged to bring their own chairs. An open house and refreshments inside the hall will follow. In Winslow Township, their celebration will be held at 11 a.m. at the War Memorial at the Winslow Township Municipal Complex, 125 South Route 73 in Braddock. Light refreshments and free fresh produce will be available while supplies last, and all of these are on November 11th, Veterans Day.
Sounds like a good amount of events happening. I feel like it's more than usual, or maybe that's just my feeling on it. I don't know.
I'm not certain if it's more than usual. I know I'm usually in the past have been so focused on what Hamilton is doing, because I can only be in one place at a time.
Right now,
But
currently.
Yeah, currently.
The
But
current science.
who knows what will happen once we reach the singularity, which should be in about 3 weeks. But until such time, but it sounds like each one here is going to be something to see and something to attend. Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
Gabe, you have some information on what's happening countywide, don't you?
I do. And there's a few different events that are going on countywide, and we're looking at, according to the Atlantic County government, that Tuesday, November 11th, Atlantic County will recognize 19 military veterans who currently reside at the county's Meadowview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center at its annual Veterans Day program presented in coordination with the Atlantic County Veterans Advisory Board. This year's program will also include recognition of the 100th birthday of a World War II veteran and Meadowview resident. Program will begin at 2 p.m. if weather permits. It will be held in the outside courtyard behind the facility, which is located at 235 Dolphin Avenue in Northfield. Otherwise, it will be held in the main lobby. Also, at the Atlantic County Veterans Museum, the museum will be open on Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is located at 189 Route 50 South Mays Landing, about a quarter mile south of the Atlantic County Park and the Richard E. Squires Veterans Cemetery. The museum's regular hours are Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And this museum features artifacts and personal histories of many Atlantic County veterans. Now, County Executive Dennis Levinson recently announced the renaming of the museum to honor Robert L. Frollo, a lifelong county resident, Vietnam veteran, and the director of the Atlantic County Office of Veteran Services. An official renaming event is tentatively scheduled to take place on Friday, November 14th at 11 a.m. And there also, the last thing is the Richard E. Squires Veterans Cemetery flag placement on Wednesday, November 5th. Local scouts will help park staff place flags on each of the nearly 6,500 grave sites prior to Veterans Day. In the event of inclement weather, the flag placement will be held on Thursday, November 6th, and most county offices will be closed on November 11th in observance of the holiday.
That's a lot happening. And there's also going to be
Wow.
a veterans conference, a musical tribute to all veterans of the armed forces at the Stockton University Performing Arts Center on November 8th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. And there is free entry, space is limited, and there's more information at stocktonpac.org.
And that's the Bay Atlantic Symphony, right, Gina?
Gabe, it's gonna be that sounds like a cool event. And I bet your dad would have liked that because I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot of like marches, I would think, rather than opera singing and soprano singing, which he did not enjoy.
No, he liked the brass, and
Yeah.
I think he would have probably enjoyed a concert like this for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot of Sousa and George M. Cohan. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Probably.
Over there, yeah. So that should be fun. Something to do and a good way to honor all of our veterans. We've all been to the local Veterans Day event. They do a very nice job.
They do.
Yeah, it's a nice tradition in Hamilton, and they always do a great job with the program for sure.
Yeah, and all the wreaths on stage, the presentation and the recession of the colors. It's the band always does something nice. It's interesting listening to whatever guest of honor that they pick from year to year, hearing their experiences and so forth.
Yeah, having been to many of them, I'm always impressed by the adherence to tradition and the adherence to a high level of respect for those people who have served in the armed forces.
Yes.
If you are having problems with your vision and you think you need a new pair of glasses or contacts, go see Hampton Family Eye Care.
That's where I go, Gina, and these glasses are from there. And I recommend to everyone to see Hamilton Family Eye Care for routine and medical eye care for all ages. From glasses to contacts to eye exams and more, visit Hamilton Family Eye Care at Peachtree Plaza, 80 South Whitehorse Pike in Hamilton. Call 609-567-7479 or go to hamiltonfamilyeyecare.com.
Joe, there's a nifty new park in Egg Harbor City that looks more than just your basic swings and slides. I think this is a more fitness based one, right?
Indeed. Egg Harbor City held a ribbon cutting on a new outdoor fitness court at Rotary Park, Washington Avenue at Claudia Street on October 22nd. The project was funded with a grant from National Fitness Campaign in partnership with Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. And according to reports, Horizon representatives joined city officials to open the court and provide a demonstration of exercises that can be done on the various stations. The fitness court was created for adults aged 14 and over of all abilities, and the workouts are adaptable for any fitness level. There's even a free fitness court app that can act as a personal coach. And during the ribbon cutting, student athletes from Cedar Creek High School demonstrated how to properly use the equipment. Following the ribbon cutting, members of the police department and Department of Public Works faced off in a friendly competition. Yeah. The fitness court is one of several improvements being made to city parks and playgrounds throughout Egg Harbor. The city also recently opened pickleball courts and installed ADA accessible playground equipment at Key Rec across from the Charles L. Sprague School. And the city also recently opened Archway Green, a pocket park in the 100 block of Philadelphia Avenue. For more information about this park, see www.nationalfitnesscampaign.com/fitness-court.
Looking at it online, it looks super cool. I don't think I am the core audience, but I love that Egg Harbor City's doing it.
It does say adults of any age and any ability. So if you just want to go and walk, if you want to sit there and just exercise your biceps as you slowly burn calories, that's a fitness ability.
I think it's a credit to that city that they are really reinvesting in their recreational areas and their passive recreational areas too. I drive past the pocket park that they built on Philadelphia Avenue at the corner there of Route 30, and it's very nice and inviting, and it has Egg Harbor City spelled out in letters. This park is very nice and inviting. I think it's just a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, when a municipality takes care of its open spaces, its green spaces, I think it says a lot about that community.
Oh, I agree, because when they take care of recreation, when they invest and prioritize recreation, every municipality at some point has said, come to Springfield, a great place to work, live, and play. When you invest in recreation, then you're focusing on one of those key elements, and you're telling the residents of that municipality, wherever it may be, that their well-being is important to city officials as well, and they want you to be able to enjoy yourselves here and not have to go elsewhere.
Great point.
Yeah, Egg Harbor City is really reinvesting to make themselves more attractive to new people coming in and for the existing residents. And I would like to see that carry through the downtown and to the whole municipality as a whole. So we'll see what happens with them. But they're also caring not only about the physical well-being of its residents, but also the environment as well. Gabe?
Yes, Egg Harbor City actually was named one of 8 municipalities from across New Jersey selected to receive no-cost technical assistance to complete a climate change-related hazard vulnerability assessment. Now, the assessment, according to a release from Egg Harbor City, is an opportunity to plan thoughtfully for the future, to protect the places residents value most, support local businesses, and ensure that the city remains a safe and vibrant place to live for generations to come. It's also mandated by the New Jersey Municipal Land Use Law. It has to be included in the land use plan element of all municipal master plans. So this grant was made possible this assistance was made possible through the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Resilient NJ program, with funding from the American Rescue Plan, and the assistance will help Egg Harbor City strengthen its resilience to climate-related hazards and plan for a more sustainable future. The assessment process will be led by J. Caldwell and Associates, which is a New Jersey planning and community development consulting firm. And Egg Harbor City will be inviting residents, business owners, and community stakeholders to share their perspectives through an upcoming community survey planned for release within the next month. The survey will help identify local priorities, experiences, and concerns related to climate change impacts such as flooding, heat, and severe weather. They say the community input will play a vital role in ensuring that the final plan reflects the needs, values, and ideas of those who live and work in Egg Harbor City, and residents should also look out for a soon-to-be-launched website that will provide context and updates on the project, which is anticipated to last through summer 2026.
That deadline
Again,
seems ambitious to me.
yeah, very ambitious.
Because I'm thinking of how long the work for our master plan has been continually ongoing. It started in 2020. Municipalities are required to update their master plan every 10 years. And here we are in 2025, and our current master plan has not yet been finalized. So if they can get that done by summer 2026, then they need to have seminars on how they
Well,
did it.
I want to be clear. I think that the project refers to the project related to climate.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
was talking about this particular element
yeah,
of their
yeah.
master plan. Yeah,
This
but
just this
even
element.
that would
You
be
think that's
extraordinary.
ambitious even through summer 2026?
I do. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it is ambitious, and I applaud that ambition.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I guess we'll follow along and see if they hit those deadlines. But and I want to see who the other 7 cities are.
That is a good question.
You know what I mean? Like, where are they in the state?
That's a good question. It wasn't listed.
No. So
No.
we're going to have to do some homework, oddcasters. We're going to have to do the work. And so we can tell the oddballs out there what's going on. So we'll put that on our list of things to do. Speaking of things to do, it's not too late if you want to have your yard fenced or your property enclosed with a fence before the end of the year. You just need to call Master Wire.
That's correct, because for more than 40 years, Master Wire Manufacturing Fence Company has been providing the South Jersey and tri-state area with residential and commercial fence supplies and services. Whether you're looking for quality products that do it yourself or are in need of a trustworthy fencing company to install your fence, they've got you covered. Master Wire Manufacturing Fence Company provides the highest quality products and customer service to each and every person who walks through their doors or gives them a call. Contact Master Wire at 609-567-1616 or visit their website at masterwirefence.net.
And if you just put a new fence around your property, you might have to change your insurance and let them know, right?
That is entirely possible. And if that is the case, or even if that's not the case, see Diversified Insurance for all your commercial and personal insurance needs. They are a value-added firm. They provide unsurpassed service, consult with you to determine your needs, and offer you a choice of insurance plans and programs. They are a value hunter who can find the best combination of coverage, service, and price. Contact them today at 609-567-7771 or visit their website at diversifiedinsuranceofnj.com.
Thank you. It is almost time for the last ACUA hazardous waste collection of the year. This is where they accept things like fertilizer and fluorescent bulbs and furniture polish and mercury containing items, things like that. Gabe, what are the details?
Gina, Household Hazardous Waste Day is November 8th, and the ACUA will hold the last Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off Day for 2025 for Atlantic County residents from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, November 8th at Fritz Hahnemann Environmental Park at 6700 Delilah Road in Egg Harbor Township. Now, proof of residency is required, like a driver's license, a tax bill, etc. You can bring your items in a throwaway or recyclable container, such as a cardboard box. Containers will not be returned. No exceptions, and you will not have to exit your vehicle. Individual container sizes cannot exceed 5 gallons. No exceptions. The maximum quantity of household hazardous waste is 20 gallons and or 200 pounds dry weight per household per person. No materials will be accepted from commercial establishments. And you can see below for commercial information. There's details about that if you go online. ACUA is accepting reusable bags during hazardous waste drop-off events. Bags must be clean and have no tears. They will be brought to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey Southern Branch for food distribution. And you can learn more about household hazardous waste collection at acua.com.
Thanks, Gabe. A cool event. Don't put that stuff in the landfill. Throw that stuff out. You know what I mean? Don't put your weed killer in your toter. Do it the right way. Your vape batteries, your spray paint. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a vital collection that they do, and Lord knows there are people who don't know how to dispose of whatever household chemical it may be, so it might sit in their basement for years. This is the time. Go through and get your maximum allowable amount and bring it to the ACUA.
Yeah, and this is our way of getting the word out there to people. It's coming up on November 8th, so there's not a lot of time, but you can collect those hazardous materials and bring over all that hazardous waste to the ACUA.
It's officially November, and the Hamilton Police Department is enjoying No Shave November. It is a thing that they do every year. They grow out their facial hair and I guess their regular hair too. And members donating will be extending their whiskers and covering their face with their beards or trying really hard to, as the Facebook post said, as a fundraiser for the community. The donations will fund Shop with a Hero to send children in need with officers to share in the Christmas spirit, and the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. So if you would like to participate in growing beards or if you want to make a donation, they're welcome to join. Just reach out to the Hamilton Police Department, and they're going to take a group photo of their beards or their best attempts towards the end of the month. I'm not a beard guy, like person. I'm saying not a guy. I'm not a beard person. My husband's clean shaven. I like that, but I get it. You guys don't want to shave for a month. That's fine. Are you participating, Joe?
I am not, because I think in order to participate, I might have to first shave. And
Right.
I'm not. I did that once by accident about 7 years ago. I was trimming my mustache, and I didn't realize that I had taken the guard off to do another area, and I sneezed. And
Oh, man.
oh yeah, a strip of the mustache came out. So I'm like, let me see what it's been years since I've been barefaced. Let me see what I look like. And so I did it, and I'm not doing that again because I look bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, we're used to you this way.
Yeah.
Steve, do you remember Joe with no facial hair? I don't know that I do.
Yeah, vaguely. He didn't have a lot of facial hair when we started the paper back.
That's like 100 years ago.
I was a
So
baby.
I mean,
that's
I
why.
remember then.
Yeah, I'm saying like in the last 15 years.
No, I don't remember that. But it does bring something to mind. I wonder if any of these guys decide to keep their facial hair after November. Once they do it, I wonder if there's like any retention, or if everybody just immediately in December, boom, everyone shaves.
It's funny because it seems like they all shave, and I wonder if there's
a code,
uniform code as to you can't keep it permanently, because some of the guys, they look very distinguished once they have beards, and then come December 1st, they're all back to being 5 years old. They look.
Yeah.
And that's of any age, from the fresh recruits up to Kevin. Kevin, when you shave, man, you look like you're 20 again. It's yeah.
I know, when the chief, because he gets like that full mountain man beard
yes,
going,
he
and
does.
I'm like,
yeah, it's
where's
like Grizzly
Kevin?
Adam.
Where's the guy I've known for 28 years? I'm like, I don't know. I don't like this dude. Give me back the other version.
That's great. You don't like bearded Kevin. I get it. So that you got the full hair, though. He can grow a beard, that guy.
Oh, I know.
And a lot of these officers can. And a lot of these officers can. And that's why I asked. I wonder if anybody, but like you said, Joe, maybe it's like an unwritten code or something.
Yeah, because
they are clean shaven.
I know they can have mustaches. I wonder if it's so that there's something less for a perpetrator to grab. I don't know, because I know I've seen some of them with mustaches, so I don't know why they don't do the full thing.
Yeah, we'll have to ask. More homework.
If your family is going through a difficult time, you need to call Marinella Funeral Home to have them help you with the arrangements.
That's right, Gina. At Marinella Funeral Home, they know they serve the community, and they've been serving the community since 1962. And they've been family owned and operated for 3 generations. Marinella Funeral Home provides individually designed burial, cremation, and pre-planned funeral services to meet the needs of each family. Ask them about how pre-planning provides true peace of mind to your family. Contact the Marinella Funeral Home, located at 102 North 3rd Street in Hamilton, at 609-561-1311.
Thank you. Joe, on October 27th, Hamilton Town Council met. Anything interesting happened at the meeting?
There was lots of stuff that happened at the meeting.
Ooh, tell us.
Quite a bit. At the regular meeting of Town Council, as you said, on October 27th, representatives from NJ Solutions Joint Health Insurance Fund appeared to answer questions regarding the town's plan to end their participation in the state health benefits program and join the NJ Solutions Joint Health Insurance Fund. The reason for the switch is because of the anticipated increase in costs with the state of approximately $918,000, or 37% over what Hamilton is currently paying, which is roughly $2.4 million. Whereas the new fund will only see a 14.6% increase. And according to the representatives and business administrator Frank Zuber, this should save the town of Hamilton roughly $488,000. Zuber said that this switch had already been discussed with and approved by the town's various unions. And so later in the meeting, the town officially left the state program with resolution number 159 of 2025 and joined the new fund with resolution number 160 of 2025, both of which passed unanimously. And if I recall correctly, once they leave the state, they can always rejoin, but they have to wait 2 years before they do so. If they find out that this new fund is not what it's cracked up to be by the second year, they can always go back, but they've got to wait 2 years. Also at the meeting, this was interesting, representatives from Lennar at West End, the new development currently under construction, addressed council and expressed concern with the condition of the building at 100 West End Avenue, which they said is under new ownership. According to the representatives, the building is dilapidated, with sections of roof missing, sections of walls missing, and they said that it would be an eyesore for the owners of the homes that they are constructing across the street. And they also said that it presented safety concerns for the children of the residents who would move into those new homes. They asked council if there was any way that code enforcement could be sent to the building to talk with the owners about bringing it in line with health and safety standards. And Mayor Berenato then asked Zuber to contact code enforcement to begin that process. Also during the meeting, Council voted to adopt and publish Bond Ordinance 15 of 2025, which is a reappropriation of funds for building upgrades and equipment at Town Hall to the sum of $150,000. And there were several items under the engineer's report, all of which were approved. They were a change order for the ADA pathways at Hamilton Lake Park in the amount of $72,295, and that is covered under grant funds. Awarded the construction contract for the 11th Street sidewalk improvements to Charles Marandino LLC for a total cost of $138,749, base bid only, and this will go from the bike path to Egg Harbor Road.
Okay.
Approving the proposal from Adams, Raven, and Hagen Associates for construction, administration, and inspection services for that project for an amount not to exceed $20,680. A change order for the 11th Street Recreation Area fence replacement in the amount of $26,818, which is for installing additional 8-foot high fence in lieu of existing 4-foot fencing to provide a substantial perimeter and for safety, including the area around the existing dugouts for all the fields there. And a change order for the Old Forks Road project in the amount of $4,050 to provide replacement asphalt driveway aprons to help convey stormwater runoff away from existing properties. The project, as currently completed, has created ponding that did not previously exist before they repaved the roadway. So a lot happened there.
Yep. I think the two things that you led with, the state plan, the moving out of the state plan, and then the Lennar question are the two key points that come to mind. Looking at the Lennar situation, this is what happens when you have investment in a area of the community. Then what they say, obviously they don't want it to impede on the sales of those townhomes either. But that's what happens because we saw it downtown. There's a pressure that's applied when there's new construction or renovations, and saying, let's all try and keep our properties a certain way. It's interesting to watch that dynamic play out on once sleepy West End Avenue that is now happening, that it's not so sleepy anymore.
No, it's not. And I don't know if you've driven by there lately, but their construction is proceeding apace. Like they said at the meeting that they were anticipating having the first tenants in a couple of months, or the first owners in a couple of months. And it's strange too, because you had mentioned, and we've talked about this development now for almost a year, you had mentioned before how the skyline changed once they knocked down the old John Capelli building and all of the woods, and you could see the 3-story homes on Washington Street from a distance, and you hadn't had that vista before. Now, if you're on Passmore and you're pulling into Wawa from the back entrance, you can see those 3-story homes clear as day, and that vista never happened before. So I think sleepy describing it previously is an understatement, and it is sleepy no more.
So for me, my issue is, was anyone from the unions present to talk about the health insurance? No.
No, they were not. It was the 2 representatives, council, and Frank Zuber said that all the unions had previously signed off on this. This had been a conversation in the works for some time.
Okay, because as long as the unions are happy about this, I want to make sure that we're not making a decision that they're opposed to. That would be my number one concern. But if they're fine
Correct.
with it, then who am I to have an opinion about it? But going to the other issue with this property and going to the property owner now, like if it's such an eyesore, I had to ask, what were we doing? Like, why do we have to have someone else who is not from town point out our issues? Shouldn't we be doing that independently anyway? Like, do you know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but there's no pressure there,
Yeah.
because if you think about what was on the other end of that street, other side of that street, it was another building similar to what is the building we're talking about now,
Yeah.
which was the Capelli warehouse, now torn down. No one was advocating for that because there wasn't pressure that like what is now existing with new construction being built, and obviously the impetus is it's going to be a tougher sell if the building across the street is an eyesore. That's what's changed.
Yeah, and it begs the question for me. They noted that it's under new owners, and unfortunately these days, njparcels.com redacts owners on tax maps, so I couldn't find out who owned it previously and who bought it and when. But if you knew, and you knew when you bought these properties and when you had this plan, you knew that this building was there, why didn't you just buy that too? Clearly it was for sale.
And that could still happen
Yeah,
if there's another pressure the other way. If they really feel that way about it, code enforcement alone isn't going to do it. If you're going to change the neighborhood, they may have to invest more and buy that parcel and
yeah.
tear it down.
You
Yeah.
know the aesthetic of the neighborhood when you move in there, and then you move in there and you say that you don't like the aesthetic of the neighborhood. That just doesn't sit well with me. Okay, then work to fix it yourselves or know what you're doing when you do it.
Yeah, and like I went on while we're having this convo, I went online to see who owned it. I just went through the town of Hamilton's webpage, the taxpayer portal, and I worked backwards. So I don't know if that's the current owner, but that's who the owner is as of right now. And it's okay. Then go talk to him at his house and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully this can be resolved. But let's keep on this conversation because there is some things changing with the skyline of Hamilton and other areas. The Chipotle sign is up. According to their website, they're hiring. The Sparkles car wash, which looks ginormous, is like more is done every time I go that way. You know what I mean? And it's, oh my gosh. And Gabe, you drive by it.
Yeah,
Sparks,
I mean,
sorry.
well,
Yeah.
I look at it in the context. At one point, Arena Buick GMC was the tallest thing in that area, and it is now balanced out on diagonally across the intersection of Broadway and the White Horse Pike and Main Road there,
Yeah.
with this massive car wash with a tower for Sparkles.
Sparks or Sparkles?
Sparks. I'm
Sparkle-
sorry.
I
Sparkles
was wrong. I
was
was
the
wrong.
one
Yeah,
used to be on the corner
on
of
12th
Monroe and
Street.
12th.
They renamed that, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe they're
and
now
I
the
think
12th Street Car Wash.
but it is a transformative effect to that intersection because you now drive by and the car wash on one corner, Arena on the other, Blueberry Crossing on the other. It really has brought a focus to that. And Chipotle with the Wendy's, for a long time we were like, what's going in the Wendy's? Now that answer is there. Gina, you said there were some other things on 12th Street.
There's a Total Wireless that went into, I think it was the Glow Bar, the spray tan place across from Action Auto Body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, when did that pop up? I drive by there every day, but I guess I was sitting at the light and I noticed it. You know
That
what I mean? I'm like,
could be,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that last week when I was walking to and from the Halloween parade, and I wondered how long it had been there, and I hadn't noticed it. I don't remember that being there, so it can't be very long at all.
No, so all these things are happening, and you really do need to pay attention because it happens very quickly. Housing goes up very fast in this area, and it's just like, hey, watch.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
think the plus side is the reinvestment.
Yep.
You're seeing houses being built on empty lots that were empty lots for a long time. And then this fill in development where there's existing infrastructure. We prefer that to just the sprawl type
Hmm.
of development. Even the housing that's being built on West End, that's infill development that's using existing roadways and sewer and water lines. So that part's good. We don't see a ton of sprawl yet in Hamilton, but we have to keep an eye out for that because right now the pressure, again I use that word pressure, is to fill in the existing strip centers and fill in the existing downtown area and business park areas and maybe the airport with commercial, and then fill the residential in with the empty lots. I think that's the better way to go personally. I don't know what you guys think, but
No,
compared to just sprawling out.
I would agree with that. If existing strip centers are not being full, then it would logically follow that any new strip center would have difficulty staying full also. And it would
Right.
seem to me that the more logical thing would be then to whatever businesses you were thinking of putting in a new strip center, invite them to join an existing strip center. That would seem to me to be the better way to go.
Or
Well,
downtown.
or as we know,
Yeah.
logic is not always.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that is for
No,
sure.
and look, that's not to say that. Look, if something is zoned commercial and it's an empty spot now, you could argue even the development that's being discussed on the White Horse Pike is still infill development. It's using the existing roadways, but there's a little more involved with building new construction of roadways and water and sewer to that new development if it's built. But it's still in the middle of the commercial area it should be in. So I think that's as opposed to, I don't know, vacant farmland somewhere that gets rezoned completely and really is off the beaten path. I think we'd rather see the development get channeled into areas where we already have development.
Fair.
Yeah.
But you know what one of the great things is about living in those new West End Avenue homes?
What's that?
Location to Bagley Annie's Market. It's a quick walk.
That's true. It's right around the corner. And at Bagley Annie's Market, they always say we treat our customers like family with a variety of custom cut meats, farm fresh produce, delicious cheeses, a full deli, and more. Bagliani's Market has something for everyone. They are famous for their wide variety of authentic Italian specialty products. Try their Italian bread and rolls, prepared foods, and homemade pasta. Follow their social media for weekly loyalty reward promos. Bagliani's Market is located at 417 12th Street in Hamilton. Call 609 561 0693 or visit Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Thanks, Gabe. Gabe, St. Joe's having a Hall of Fame dinner coming up, right?
Yes, it's not long away. It's actually coming up on November 8th at 6:30 p.m. on the St. Joseph Academy campus at 328 Vine Street in Hamilton. St. Joseph Academy is hosting the Athletics Hall of Fame dinner, a special evening dedicated to celebrating the history and tradition of Wildcat athletics. The event will honor athletes, coaches, and contributors who have made an extraordinary impact on the school and its community. This year's class of inductees includes Bill Roberts, 84, football coach and player, the 1973, 74, and 75 field hockey team, winners of 3 consecutive Cape Atlantic League titles, Barbara Augustine Russell, 75, goalie of the 1973 and 74 championship field hockey teams, Nicole Pagano, 09, a softball standout, Jerry Petrangelo, 88, a multi-sport athlete in football, basketball, and baseball. Matt Alessi, class of 87, a basketball and baseball leader. Renee Merlino, 88, a Spirit Award recipient for her extraordinary contribution to SJA. The evening will feature dinner and a recognition ceremony as they honor those remarkable Wildcats for their achievements and lasting contributions to St. Joseph Academy. I know some of the people involved who are going to be honored. I think it's a great honor for them. And I honestly think it's also great to see St. Joe Academy continuing the tradition of connecting itself to the former St. Joseph Roman Catholic High School, which was a big part of its history. And they've tried to keep that history alive through events like this one. And so the one last bit is to purchase tickets or for more information on sponsorships, you can visit www.stjosephacademy.com/give.
Yeah, it's really cool. I know Barbara Russell. We both know Renee Merlino, and no one deserves it more than Renee, to be very honest. And I believe we covered Nicole Pagano throughout her high school career. So,
We
I'd
did.
imagine.
yeah, so it's a really cool group of people being honored. And I know Barbara, and she's just absolutely over the moon by this honor. Like, she is just ecstatic, as are her fellow team members who are also going to be recognized. It's just very cool just to see this happening, and it's a great night, and that's this Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be a good night.
Gabe, what details do you have about upcoming toy drive? Because it is the season for toy drives.
Buena Vista Township is having a holiday toy drive, Gina, and just listen to some of these trending toys: Squishmallows, Hot Wheels, LOL dolls, Barbie, Play-Doh, Lego, Minecraft, Lilo and Stitch. All these types of things, the people that they're looking to donate to this toy drive, which they'll be accepting donations through Wednesday, November 26th. The drop-off location is the Buena Vista Township Municipal Complex, which is located at 890 Harding Highway in Buena. They're looking for donations of new, unwrapped, not gift wrapped toys for local children in their community. For more information, call 856-697-2100, extension 8, or go to special events. You can email them at specialevents@buenavistanj.com.
I'm glad they're not looking for Labubus, because I would never want to buy a Labubu because it's so weird to say Labubu.
I think
That's
Squishmallows are
true.
cool. Oh, God. Oh, that hurt.
Oh, he's got the jokes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
You're just mad because you didn't think of it yourself, Joe.
Oh, there are some things that we think but do not say.
I've never found that to be true.
Come on. It's Jerry Maguire, the things we think but do not say.
It's a good
Yeah.
reference.
Thank
Good
you.
reference.
The
Thank you.
human head weighs 8 pounds. I could also quote from Jerry Maguire, too.
We know that one. Me and Flipper here.
Joe, if people need to have their septic systems looked at, or if they want to install a new one, who do they need to call?
They call D'Amiglio Septic and Quality Sanitation because they are here for a variety of services, including septic pump out, grease trap service, high pressure jetting, portable toilets, and more. Call 609-561-3597 or go to demiglioseptic.com for D'Amiglio Septic, or call 609-561-4666 for quality sanitation. Experience the D'Amiglio difference, a promise of superior service, quality, and reliability.
Very true. Joe, what's going on with one of our local veterans groups?
On October 30th, the American Legion Post 186 announced that, in a unanimous decision made along with his family and fellow members, the post will now bear the name of former Commander Frank M. Coletta. According to the announcement, Coletta's dedication to the post and the veteran community left an indelible mark, noting, quote, his leadership, commitment, and passion for honoring those served exemplify everything the American Legion stands for. So it is no longer the American Legion F.A. Funston Post 186. It is now the Frank Coletta American Legion Post 186. The Post also noted that one of Coletta's most cherished accomplishments was reviving the color guard, a time-honored tradition not maintained, they say, by many posts, and which looks spectacular at any event. The Post is actively seeking veterans to join the color guard, which presents colors events throughout the community with pride and passion. And the Post says whether you're a seasoned member or new to the American Legion, joining the color guard is an opportunity to be a part of something meaningful, honoring our nation, serving our community, and continuing the work that Frank Coletta held so dear. So That's what's
And then,
going on. That's what's going on with the Legion. And in related news, the Knights of Columbus and the Mother Cabrini Lodge of the Sons and Daughters of Italy in America will host a veterans breakfast at Knights of Columbus Rodeo Hall on Pratt Street on Sunday, November 9th, beginning at 9 a.m. There's a $10 per person donation. Veterans eat for free, and all proceeds will be donated to the Tri-Vets of Hamilton.
yeah, the American Legion news is big news.
Yes, it is.
And when we saw that online, I think we all went, "Oh, wow, that's big news."
That is a huge honor for the late Frank Coletta, who's he was a stand-up guy if there ever was one.
Yeah, it's a big honor. And then you have the Knights of Columbus breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the tri-vets and the veterans so involved in different things. We think of the tri-vets, we think of the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and the Disabled American Veterans, all located on Veterans Way, which is Egg Harbor Road, north and south. And we take it, I don't think we ever take it for granted that our vets in Hamilton are so involved in the community. And this latest honor is a nice way to highlight everything that our veterans groups do, including the American Legion.
Yeah.
With the current government shutdown still ongoing, at least at the time of this recording, it is difficult for some people to feed their families due to changes in SNAP benefits and not always rolling forward. We know that the state government has made some plans to help people out, but it may not be enough. So the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry is open every Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. and from 7 to 8:30 p.m. It is located at 219 North 3rd Street, and it serves families in the 08037 zip code only. Customers or clients must bring a valid ID, proof of dependence, and for more information, call 609-412-4604. You can also volunteer at the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry, or you can make a donation to the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. Again, if you have any questions, you can call 609-412-4604. There's also the Hope Exists food distribution, which is the first Thursday of every month, which will be November 6th of this year. That's 11 a.m. until supplies run out, and that's at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Society grounds. And it'll be a food drive November 6th, starting at 11 a.m. to about noon. You must be registered, and you can go online to hopeexistfoundation.org in order to register so you can receive food. Again, two really close together food distribution centers, but they help out a lot of people in the region.
Yes, they do. Absolutely, they do. They do amazing work.
Yeah.
At a time when it's very both needed and appreciated.
Yes.
And if you're looking for something to do, you just need to listen to the Rockhouse Townhouse Community Calendar because there is a lot happening.
Yes, Gina, Rocco's Townhouse has prides themselves on being a spot where everyone can meet and eat. Delicious appetizers, entrees, burgers, and more, along with a full bar and plenty of craft beers on tap. Remember, everyone meets at the Townhouse, 21 North 3rd Street in Hamilton. Call them at 609-561-9384 or visit roccostownhouse.com. And now it's time for the Rocco's Townhouse Community Calendar, where we round up all the fun, festive, and hometown happenings across South Jersey. On Thursday, November 7th and Friday, November 8th, kick off the weekend with some frightful fun at the Haunted Ghost Walk on Main Street in Medford. Take a 45-minute lantern-lit journey through historic Medford Village as psychic mediums from the Center for Living guide you through haunted locations and tell the eerie tales behind them. It's a spirited mix of local history, mystery, and maybe a ghost or two. Tickets are $29 and tours begin at 6 p.m. on both nights. Also on Friday, November 8th, say cheese and maybe ho, because it's time for the 8th annual Photos with Santa at White Dog Christmas Tree Farms in Hamilton. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Digital Danro Photography will be snapping festive family photos with Santa himself. No appointment needed, just $10 per photo session, and pets are welcome too. Bring the kids, bring the dog, and kick off your holiday season the South Jersey way. On Friday, November 8th and Saturday, November 9th, get into the spirit of giving and shopping at the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Christmas Bazaar in Absecon. The doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 591 New Jersey Avenue. You'll find handmade crafts, baked goods, gifts, and maybe even a visit from Santa. Come for the holiday cheer, stay for the friendly faces and community fun. And on Saturday, November 15th, head over to Victory Bible Church in Hamilton for the Sunshine Foundation Holiday Craft Show. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., shop local creations like jewelry, candles, toys, and baked goods, all while supporting the Sunshine Foundation's mission to make dreams come true for children facing illness or disability. That's holiday shopping you can feel good about. So whether you're searching for ghosts, gifts, or good memories, there's plenty of South Jersey magic waiting for you this month. More information about these events can be found online. That's your Rocco's Townhouse community calendar, where local spirit always shines bright.
Thanks, Gabe. I've done with Fenway the Christmas photos, and they're always fun out there. Fenway loves Santa Claus, so always a good time to do that one. Not going this year because we have other plans, but it's all good.
It's good.
Fired. You're fired.
But if people want to do something fun for the Christmas photos or their holiday photos, they could all wear their Oddcast gear.
Oh, absolutely they could. They could sip hot cocoa out of our mugs. They could bring tumblers if they wanted. We've got hats. We've got T-shirts, including our Italian sorbet and our Inner Oddcast era designs. And you can find all of it and more at jersey-oddcast.printify.me.
So I have to ask a question, Joe, because I know the answer for Gabe. When do you start decorating for Christmas? Because we know how much you love Halloween. When do you start decorating for the holidays?
Usually after Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. Gabe, when do we start decorating?
Usually after Halloween.
Really? My Halloween stuff is still up because it doubles as fall decor. And Medford, they're having ghost tours this weekend, so clearly it's still Halloween in Medford. We'll take it. And for the longest time, Christmas was a time for ghost stories. You may have heard of A Christmas Carol. So it still counts. So I go until Thanksgiving. And then
Nice.
after Thanksgiving, I put it up.
Now, Mariah Carey comes out November 1st, and she lets us know it's time, and it is time.
Yeah, I've seen that. As clever as it may be, Mariah, no. No, thank you. Not here. No.
So Gabe, is our house decorated for Christmas already?
It is. It is. And I know that it's not for everybody.
That's
Here's
the
the
Santa
thing.
Claus hat behind you, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, my word.
It's around. So there you go. Look, some people push Halloween early into like early September. So I can do that.
Yeah, you know what?
No problem.
Okay, decorated for Halloween like the first week of September.
Yeah,
So, like,
there you go.
but good heavens.
No.
Okay.
So you had 2 full months. We're going to get 2 full months.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't do that. No, I don't.
Not for everybody, like I said, and that's okay. Then again, I think it's probably somewhat based in all the years being involved with the newspaper, and as a lot of commercial businesses start decorating for the holiday, like in October. So that's probably where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah, whereas some of my backlash may have come from growing up. My mother had just an absolutely impressive collection of Santa Claus figurines that stayed up year round.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that might have scarred you. Could have
So-
been.
We're going to drop the poll out there for everyone to let us know how when they decorate, and please be closer to us. Please be close to us, and do not wait until Thanksgiving or Black Friday to decorate. Let's decorate now. You know, if you are in your home and you're looking for your holiday decorations, you realize, you know what, I got a lot of stuff to get rid of. Or maybe you own a business that needs regular servicing of a dumpster. We recommend calling United Roll-Off.
Yes, are you looking for fast, reliable dumpster service? Call United Roll-Off Service and Recycling LLC. Family owned by the Grasso family and proudly serving South Jersey since 1999. 3 generations strong, United Roll-Off is your local solution for household cleanouts, construction debris, concrete, and yard waste with 11, 20, and 30-yard dumpsters ready when you need them. Serving Hamilton and all of Atlantic, Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, and Gloucester counties, they've got the size, service, and local touch you can trust. Visit them at 735 Wiltsey's Mill Road, Hamilton, or call 609-561-8287 to get started today. United Roll-Off, local, loyal, and ready to haul.
Thanks, Gabe. Did you know there was a time in New Jersey where you couldn't ask someone what exit? That all changed on November 5th, 1951, when the New Jersey Turnpike officially opened to drivers. For the first time, motorists could cruise from Bergen County all the way down to Salem County without hitting a single traffic light. A final stretch connecting to the George Washington Bridge followed just a few months later in January of 1952. At 148 miles long, the New Jersey Turnpike didn't just move cars, it moved Jersey forward, sparking new neighborhoods, booming businesses, and a whole lot of road trip memories. Today, it remains one of the nation's busiest highways and one of its most iconic. And that is your Oddcast Oddfact for the week.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah, so it's 64 years old this week. Can you believe it?
No, actually, I thought the turnpike was older than that. Truthfully, that seems like a little baby.
I guess it's like the fully connected because I think there was one like because the name Turnpike being what it is historically.
Oh yeah, that goes back to
Yeah.
the 1700s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but just that's when was finished. Then the Parkway was like a decade or less later, and fascinating
Yeah, and
history of driving.
then the expressway, of course, didn't come in until I believe it was 1964/65.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, the Parkway was 54. It's 3 years later. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just interesting because the Turnpike is such a brutal road.
yeah.
It's rough, and it's had a lot of work done on it. I think there's always work being done on it, but Gabe and I have been on it from top A to Z.
Yeah. The Turnpike and the Parkway are the two highways that really define New Jersey, I think. I mean, there's the Atlantic City Expressway is more of a, I think, southern New Jersey definition, a defining road. But statewide, you got, yeah, most people think of the Turnpike and then the Parkway.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting stuff. Joe, if I need to go on the Turnpike to go for a ride this week, will I have good weather?
Since you asked, it sounds like it is time for the Oddcast forecast, according to the app on my smartphone, and sponsored by Ben Castone Landscaping. Call Ben Castone for all your landscaping needs at 609-561-3452. They're here to keep your yard looking great no matter what the season, and this year, Ben Castone Landscaping is celebrating its 25th anniversary. Ben Castone thanks his customers, family, and friends for all their support and is looking forward to many more years of service. And in a word, yes, you should have nice driving weather.
Good.
Wednesday, we're looking to partly to mostly cloudy later at night, high 68 and a low of 44. Thursday, we're looking at a mixture of sun and clouds, a high of 59 and a low of 34. And Friday, we're looking at some clouds and then increasing cloudiness throughout the day with a high of 63 and a low of 53. So temperatures right where they should be for early November. Doesn't look like there's going to be any sort of precipitation to worry about. So if for whatever reason you need to drive on the turnpike, then you should be golden.
That's good to know. And you can take the Oddcast with you wherever you go. Just go to jerseyoddcast.com or find us on your favorite podcast app, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever, or even on YouTube, and we'll be with you always. And we'll be back next week with more chaos, commentary, and community because someone's got to do it. Have a great week.